Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do a video today. It's Thursday morning. We are going to just talk about some things today that's been bothering me, since yesterday. So it seems like every day with this business, there's always something. Yesterday we had a pretty good day with processing. Most of those pallets, as you can see, they're all gone from our club load. Um, we did get we did get through some of the items from the sale yesterday. Yesterday we did a dollar dot day on Wednesday for all of our dot items, thinking that that would give us a boost in sales, and it did. It gave us a boost of sales, but it also gave us a boost of sales of dollar items. So the trick was to run a sale, and not a trick, but like the idea was to run a sale, and everybody that came in would see the dollar items, and then maybe some other stuff that they would buy on top of that. But what was happening is people were coming in and grabbing all the $5 items for the dollar sale, the more expensive stuff, just kind of like what I thought was going to happen. But what happened was it did clear out the bin, and I'll go over there in a second um, to show you guys what's left. But they left all the cheap stuff, and then they just grabbed all the good stuff. And then somebody came in. We had a bunch of Post-its. Somebody came in and bought a bunch of Post-its. So I want to say overall we what we needed to do we did with clearing it out. But now we have to refill. Um, so yeah, so that's going to be a challenge in itself to refill on top of everything that's going on right now. This area back here is a mess. We have a ton of clothing um, that we need to process, a lot of summer stuff. So what we're gonna do is, actually, we announced it yesterday. I was thinking um, buy five get one free, but Kathy thought that we should do buy four get one free. So our clothing now, today only, is gonna be buy four get one free. Now, what's nice about that is we are gonna allow people to stack the discount. So let's say they spend $50, they're gonna get an additional 10% off. Well, basically with the sale, they have to buy three lots. Um, 3 lots of 20. That's the mindset that I have, that they got to buy 3 lots of 20, so we might gain more sales, because then people are going to see better value. So buy four get one free for the clothes. Any clothes. The only thing that I'm worried about is if somebody comes in and buys all the jackets or the jeans, and that's all they buy, because that's not what this is designed to do. This sale is designed to get our bins emptied, so we have more space to put more clothes, because there's a lot more clothes in the back. So yeah, so that's what we're up against, and we're not going to announce that that's going to be an every week sale, but honestly, I think that's what we're going to be doing. So Wednesdays will be our dollar dot deals. Thursday is going to be buy four clothes get one free, and we're going to continue the 10% off. And I think the biggest thing for me is we need to find some time to start marking all of our um, inventory on the sales floor down with the sale, because we still haven't done that yet. A lot of distractions still, even with the lower employee count. A lot of distractions we're seeing outside of the business and inside of the business, with me and Kathy. So we're really trying to just get a hold of our days, and keep it structured. And if anybody's been in this type of business, you know that the everything changes daily. So keeping up on everything, it's a must do with time management. So as you can see, we got some rugs in. Um, yeah, they process that stuff pretty quick. And what gets to me is, if you compare the processing in the last two loads versus the processing that used to take place, seems like we're getting through stuff a lot quicker now, with less employees. I really feel like that there was a distraction problem with people, um, you know, not being on task. And now it's kind of showing that if you get the right um, momentum going with when these loads come in, anything's possible with processing. So yeah, so I'll go over here, and as you guys can see, these bins, they're not piled up anymore. Um, what we might want to do too is we might want to figure out like a fill a bag day. Maybe that can be Friday, or no, actually, maybe it should be Thursday. So maybe what we should do is, if we were going to do that dollar sale, that's fine. That's going to get through all the high ticket items. But then, kind of like a bin store, you don't want to start the next week off with the same stuff in the bins. So maybe what we'll do on Thursdays, not this Thursday, but we'll start it next Thursday, is let people come in and fill a bag, what's left on the table, and that way it clears the whole thing. Because my idea is actually to take all this stuff out, and but then it's like, where do you put it? So yeah, we got a lot of processing to do still, with Target. I'm gonna see what it looks like today with just 2 people processing, maybe 3, and see how that works, because I think the back area needs to be kind of cleared out, give us some space to do what we need to do, and then basically just whatever's left on the sales floor. I think me and Kathy, this might just fall on me because I think Kathy's got some stuff to do behind the scenes, um, that we need to get done. Maybe I'll just, after this video, I'll start doing the markdowns, and then I also got to do a video for my regular group, for my customers. So I really wanted to stage up the week to the video, to help me just kind of, as I'm walking around, just say this is the item, and then maybe if I had a price on it, I can include that, because I don't really do that a lot in my videos, just because I can't stop what I'm doing and calculate everything, one by one. So yeah, that's kind of like my struggle, is to make my videos as robust as I can. So it's something to think about when you guys are having a location and you're doing videos. Preparing for the video, it's a crucial part of getting the buy-in on those videos. And I can't believe that I've been doing this for as long as I have, and I still haven't gotten something down. That just shows you like how this works with, really needed to have everything in order with like your operating procedures and stuff like that. So and some might say that you're just too disorganized, and maybe that's the case. And the thing is like, I'm open for any feedback. So I'm not looking to just say, oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. I take a lot of feedback from my customers on stuff, but what they don't understand is when the feedback that the customers are giving me is, oh, you need to buy this, you need to buy that, you need to buy this. Well, the biggest thing I've been hearing in the last couple weeks is people that need appliances, right? Major appliances. So let's break that down, and let me explain to you why I don't have appliances. So basically, the way it worked is, I found a local source, and the source was a warehouse that I can just drive to with my box truck and hand pick items. So basically, what that is, I wasn't taking the items that they chose to sell. I went through the warehouse and I handpicked it. And the things that I was looking for was like new condition, less dings and dents, the better, and and retail. So retail's huge with me on what types of items will I buy it when I have the choice. I don't choose high ticket items. Maybe I'll choose like 1 or 2, but I don't choose everything high ticket items. I choose the stuff that normally people, when they come into my store, they're gonna want a deal. So I have to find a certain price point. And with appliances, $500-600 for a washer, um, or dryer was kind of like the high end part of it. So what does that mean? It means they're not going to get a highly um, featured washer and dryer. They're going to get like a basic one, because people shop with their pockets. They don't shop for the features. So what was happening was, at in this instance with the washer and dryers, trying to get underneath $500 a piece was hard, because those were only the basic ones, and my source did not have a lot of matching basic sets. And that's how you have to buy the washer and dryers. Usually when somebody's going to replace a dryer, they're going to replace both most of the time, as long as it's a good price, because a lot of people aren't going to be able to match the brands. They're not going to be able to match the colors, so they usually just buy in pairs. Now, refrigerators, the biggest thing that I saw was, first of all, it had to be new, so it had to have the wrappings on it. The face of it couldn't have too many dings or no dings, because people were thinking, yeah, I'm gonna buy a refrigerator. I'm gonna, they're not thinking that they're getting a good deal. I was doing 50% off of appliances, and I was paying like maybe 28 to 30%. So I was only making 20%. Well, the problem was with the any of the appliances paying 20 or 30, 28 or 30%. You're, first of all, you're not doubling your money, so right off the bat you're losing as a seller. The buyer, if you start off at 50% off, they want a better deal. So if you only have 10 to 12% margin, where how is it beneficial for the seller to even carry the appliances? And that's what happened with me. The only way that I when I would buy these appliance loads, I would, I'd spend 15 to $18,000, not a full truck, but like, enough, because I'm paying at 28 to 30%. And what was happening is I had really nice appliances. I A lot of them didn't have the dings in them, but the customer will walk up to it. Oh, you're a discount store. This doesn't come with a warranty, even though we gave a 1 year third party warranty with it, or offered a 4 year warranty. Customers will be like, oh, it's not good enough, so in order for me to close a sale, I'd have to give them a better deal, even though 50% off is such a good deal, especially if I was able to get something without a ding or a dent. So you walk up to the fridge, it looks like a brand new fridge, but they still think that 50% off retail is too much. So that was one of the big problems. I was just sick of it. I had a whole sales floor full of appliances at the best prices that you're going to find anywhere, even other discount stores that specialize in washer and dryers and refrigerators. I was beating their prices. So what happened was, the capital sits there, right? Then I'm like, okay, well, this stuff's been sitting here. It's time to it's time to move on. It's time to get my capital back to reinvest it. And basically, what was happening was, I was just dumping the inventory, and at that point, even the customers at that point were still trying to beat me down. So the reason why I don't carry appliances anymore, major appliances, is because my customers were misunderstanding what they were actually getting for the value. And I was just getting tired of my capital sitting there, and people just beat me down every time I talked to somebody. It would just be like the same old story. And you know what? I got things to do, in the background. Remember, I'm on the sales floor. I'm being called to the sales floor. Hey, customer wants to talk to you about this item. Okay, well, what do they want to talk to you? I don't know. They want to talk to you. Well, I stop what I'm doing. I walk over there, and basically they want a deal. And it's like, okay, well, I told my employee, stop interrupting my day for customers that want me to negotiate with them, because you can negotiate with them by saying, we don't negotiate. Just say, boss says, here's signs everywhere, we do not negotiate. They're like, well, why don't you just raise your prices, and then that way when they come in, there's negotiation, spot for negotiation. Well, it doesn't work that way. It works like this: you put the price at 60% of retail, so 40% off. You're not going to get somebody interested in an item when they're in front of the item, even if they know that they can negotiate with you, if you're going to allow them to negotiate with you. So let's look at that scenario. What does that look like? Okay, so I raise all my prices, 60% of retail, 40% off. Okay, now we got crickets, right? So now the ads are out there, marketplace. Basically, people are saying, will you take $500? I put something for $900. Will you take $500? Okay, well, that does me no good, because now I'm getting aggravated, because what gives this person the right to tell me that a $1,500 item should sell for $500 brand new? That's the kind of stuff I was getting at, guys, in my market. Now, you could say, oh, well, just avoid them, just ignore them. Well, when that's every message coming through, and I'm trying to run my business and I'm being distracted by people just being arrogant with me. That's what this business is, guys. I can tell you right now, I have the lowest prices on a lot of my stuff in the store. You walk into my store, you go to other discount stores in the area, and you look at what I'm selling, the quality of stuff I'm selling, the condition of stuff I'm selling, and you compare it to them, and you'll see that my stuff supersedes with the pricing and the variety. And I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm the best, this and that. No, I'm saying that based on what I'm reviewing on when I see my competitors post and when I look at the retail stores post things, there's no question that when you walk into my store, you're paying less than you're paying from them. So why we're failing, I have no idea. I'm trying to figure this out. Things are not making sense, and it's just frustrating because everywhere you turn, you have you have this problem. You have the problem of traffic. You have the problem with, not really anymore, but the employees bringing situations into the workplace that distracts everybody, just stuff like that. So you put all those in one basket and tell me how you're gonna succeed when you have all these distractions going on. So that's my rant today, guys. My rant is basically, retail environment isn't what it used to be when I used to do retail. The liquidation industry is a very, very hard um, industry to succeed in. Um, when you're buying inventory, you're not able to sell through it and get the margins that you need. Just employees just getting through their workday without the drama. That was a huge thing. I haven't really been experiencing that lately this week, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that distract people that have to make the decisions. And really, my biggest thing is I need to get through that. I need to figure out how, when a distraction comes up, how do I just um, get through it without it becoming a distraction? So recognizing, and then just having just like the skills to navigate through the solution without it interfering with anything else that's going on. So that's really where this rant is about. um, it's about customers controlling your sales. It's about having the right products where people don't have to question if they're getting a good deal. And I guess I haven't figured it out, so I'm going to admit that. What we're going to do today is we're going to try to get some traction. We're going to see what that does. We're going to basically, if you think about it like a marketing perspective, um, A/B test, something like that, just so we can just get back on track. And I'm pretty sure that once I spell this out for the people what they're paying and they don't have to do any work, I'm pretty sure that that's gonna come to give us more sales. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate your watching the videos. I don't really get any comments or any likes or any subscribes or anything like that. That kind of stuff does help us. I know I wouldn't say in my videos that, because I hate it when I'm watching a video and they got to explain everything. But just based on what I'm seeing, yeah, I got views and everything. But like, yeah, let's take this to the next level. Let's get it where people are interacting with me, and then let's see what that comes with as a result. So thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. Have a great day.